Hello all the tank maniacs and all those ones who are just starting up. In this video we're going to discuss tank destroyers, how to set them up so it's a little bit easier for you, and I'm talking especially to those ones that only just starting. So I'll start as I usually start with the crew setup, and the crew setup is as follows. Commander, I always say and always go for 6 cents to start with. It's very important because you want to know when you get spotted. The tank destroyers usually sit at the back and they don't want to be spotted too quick. You want to be a bit more sneaky with them, at least at the beginning of the game, until there is a need for you to move. Now, for the rest of the crew at the beginning, I would suggest a camouflage for the first one. As you can see, I do not have a camouflage on the first one. This is not original crew, but the camouflage is very important, especially for the beginners. So if you're just starting up, the best thing to do is give camouflage to all the other crew members. It will allow you to hide somewhere at the back and support your allies without being spotted too quick. Now for the second perk on the commander, again, because you had sense for the first one, then the second one you can finish off your camouflage, so you make sure that you're not gonna get spotted. If once all the crew members have it, it's much better for you, obviously. So second perk, well, because it's tank destroyers, on the third one I would suggest reconnaissance, recon as they call it, because you can at the same time spot. Sometimes you don't always have tanks in front of you and you want to be able to see them, and this will enable your crew to be more efficient at it. For the gunner, I've chose Deadeye simply because it helps to damage modules and kill crew members. It's more efficient at it. For the third one, depending on what type of tank destroyer you have, or what type of destroyer you're going to have in the future. For example, if you are doing American tanks and tank destroyers, well, there's some of them, they have a turret that you can move about, so you might go for snapshot, so improve your accuracy during the turret movement, or you can simply choose repairs or firefighting. Repairs can be very handy, allow you to repair faster, so if you get detracked or your gun gets damaged, you will speed that process up much further. Again, it depends on the tank destroyer we're discussing. This tank destroyer in particular has 5 crew members, therefore every single crew member has a different qualification. Now, if I, for example, would have gone on another tank destroyer and you only have 3 crew members, like at the very beginning, which I'll go back to it in a moment, then it's going to be a completely different story, because usually they'll have 2 qualifications at the same time, which allows you to have different skills, more skills available for that particular crew member. So then it's a little bit different, but I'll go back to it. Now, next is your driver. Again, once you had your camouflage done, you can go for clutch braking, simply because most of the destroyers, they're quite slow. Usually they're not very agile, so you have to be able to twist and turn faster, especially if the faster tank comes at you. If you want to have any chance turning in time, then you want to have a clutch braking. It will allow you to turn faster. As a driver on the third one, you can always choose off-road driving possibly for the next one, because obviously allow you to get to your position much faster, so you're ready when your crew members start spotting. And afterwards, if you're doing a fourth skill, you could maybe go for Brother in Arms, and that way you will allow your crew to have plus 5% to all the major skills and perks. Now let's look at the radio operator. As you can see here, I've got camouflage on the first one, situation awareness to allow me to have a bit better range view, and on the third one here I've started doing Brothers in Arms, and that's what I'm going to do for everyone on the third one. But that's just me. On your loader, safe storage, you can choose safe storage or simply, like I have it here, adrenaline rush. So when you low on HP, you get extra 10% to reload. Concealment, but again, swap them around. Do a concealment first. It's always better practice. And you can choose safe storage, tank destroyers, especially at the beginning. They're not as armored, so this could help you as well, so you don't get destroyed easily or blown up. And then on the fourth one, if you're doing them all, you can do Brother in Arms. Equipment. In this particular case, I have reload. A lot of my tank destroyers of higher level have reload. Minus 11.5% reload time, and that's because the bigger they are, the longer they reload, the more powerful they are. So at the same time, the rest of the equipment, I always usually go, especially at the beginning, I advise this. Camouflage net is a must be, especially at the beginning if you don't have a good crew, but I would say always must be. And I would go for binocular, simply because this is for the stationary vehicles. Tank destroyers usually spend a lot of time in one spot, so this is ideal because it will allow you to spot targets as well when nobody else spotting. Now let me quickly go to some smaller tank destroyers like you would see at the very beginning. Now it's like you can see here, Russian AT-1 second tier. Like I mentioned before, the commander has 3 different skills, and that's where it gets a bit tricky, because you don't really know what to choose for someone like that. So up here, it's not a best example, but I would swap this camouflage for the commander at the beginning for 6 cents. It is important. The rest can have camouflage to start with, and then because he's a loader at the same time, and also he's a radio operator. Not changed any of this, because as soon as you probably research these tanks, you're not going to really probably use them, so you're probably going to move your crew to the next level tank destroyer, and when you do that, the qualifications will change, because once you do that to the next one, for example, there's a 4th tier, there you go. Now you have 4 crew members, and the commander is only a commander. There is no other qualification, but instead radio operator loader becomes a radio operator at the same time. So don't go into it too much at the beginning. Just do the simple things. Just do things like 6 cents, camouflage. By the time that even goes up to 100%, you're already going to change it to the next tank. So, and afterwards you can work it out on the next tank what you need and what qualifications they have. Obviously, when you're only just starting up, you can't even put equipment on. The equipment I'm discussing is for 3A that allow you to use it, which is a little bit later on in the game. Once you have everything set up, your crew and your and your equipment. Then you're nearly ready to go. Ammunition, it's up to you if you want to use high explosive or armor piercing. Some works better than others on certain tanks. For example, here you can do average damage 630 on HE heat ammunition, but the penetration is only 65. So on average you probably do 200, maybe 300 if you're lucky, depends on the tier and the tank. Now AP it's got much more penetration. This is only 7th tier and it's already got 231 penetration and 490 damage. But I would suggest to have more AP ammunition than HE. This particular tank. Now if we go to 10th tier, well, that changes completely, because for example here you have 6 crew members, and sometimes you would notice that you will have the same crew members, like 2 loaders for example. There's one thing you need to remember when you have two same crew members. There is no point doing them the same skills, because at the end of the day only one of them works. So you want to mix them. You want to do the perks that the other one doesn't have yet. And at the same time they're gonna both improve your tank even further and quicker. So that's why you can see, other than the Brother in Arms and Camouflage, I made them different ones, because you're just wasting a lot of experience for something that it will not work. Only one of them with the same skill will work, and it's usually the one that has more experience above the other. So just don't do the same skills to them, just choose different ones if you have the same crew members. Now once we discuss this, the consumables, it's down to you. I do realize at the beginning of the game it's hard and it's more expensive, so you might want to use the small ones. I always have the same setup pretty much. I always have small repair kit, small first aid kit, and manual extinguisher, which as follows: you have to press 4, 5 or 6 during the game. So on the next video I'm going to show you tank destroyers in action, and I will give you an idea how that works at the beginning with a small tier tank destroyer, and then I'm going to show you how that works on a much higher tier, just to give you the feel, to show you how it's done. So thank you very much for watching this quick tutorial for tank destroyers. Don't forget, don't go too far with those. Make sure you concealed somewhere in the bush so nobody can see you. Put your camouflage on, net and everything. And good luck on the battlefields, and I see you in the next video. You can get to that video either through my card, or at the end it will show you the next one. Now same goes for subscribing. If you would like to do that, you can do that at the end of the video in the right top corner, or throughout the video in the right bottom corner. So thank you very much, and I see you in the next video.